Hi guys and welcome back to the channel and welcome to yet another video. Today we're going to be checking out 2026 endings, but this time, like with the previous videos, we are going to be checking out spring. So yeah, over the course of the time where I was not active on the channel, I missed an entire season of anime, and with it I missed the spring openings and endings. We're catching up, we're checking out the spring endings today for 2026. That will mean that very soon, I'm sure, we will be checking out the summer 2026 openings and endings. The winter 2026 endings were incredible. Fire Force's ending, Survive Said the Prophet, that's still like maybe my favorite anime song of the year. Today we got a big hurdle to climb over. Is anything going to beat, for me, that ending from Fire Force? We will see. And yeah, I know that we have a RIIZE ending, for example, coming today, and one thing that RIIZE has never disappointed on is the endings. Like, the openings have always been great, but honestly for me it's been the endings that have been the absolute top of the top when it comes to anime endings. Like, even taking it all the way back to Styx Helix, what an incredible ending for the first ending. We've worked through several endings. We got Nox Lux in season 3, and yeah, we're gonna see what we get today with ReZero. We're going to have several other endings in here as well. I'm very excited. Don't know what we're really going to be seeing, but I would suspect it's going to be mostly series that we saw from the openings list as well. So I'm very excited for that. Be sure to let me know which ending was your favorite from spring 2026. And yeah, I can't wait to hear what you guys say. I hope that you guys enjoy the video. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. And of course, check out the stream. We are checking out these endings today live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jasmer. Link should be in the description down below. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when future uploads go live on the channel, including the ReZero episode reactions that we're currently checking out, as well as future opening ending videos like this one. We're just going to jump right into this. We're going to see what we get today in the spring 2026 endings list. Let's go. Oh, look at that lighting, the shadowing and everything. That's so cool. Even if we become spirits, let's fly away. Let's fly away. Really dig the shadowing and everything here. Is so cool. Like a dandelion. Is that underwear? Game Boys. Looks like a really fun trio here that we have. Real goofy. Love a good dancing ending. I'm sure this was a real highlight of finishing an episode, just getting to check out the trio dancing, of course. A lot of focus on dandelions, mention of dandelions. Maybe that's the name of the series, who knows. Wanna try flying. The lyrics of the song seem to be like talking about like an escape. That's Gintama guy, no? Isn't that Gintama creator? I was actually thinking that, funny enough, but I didn't say it. Like, when it showed right here, I was like, this looks like the like a character straight out of Gintama. So that's really funny. I was just like gonna save that for when it ended, but then seeing the final shot, like, I'm pretty sure this is I don't even know his name, but this is like his character. This is Dandelion, produced by Naz, directed by Daisuke Mataga, music by Yuki Hayashi, of course, MHA Haikyuu Sakamoto Days, one of the best to do it in the modern scene. He absolutely killing it, and based on a one-shot, it's a one-shot series by that stinking gorilla, Hideaki Sorachi, Gintama. The song is Goron to Goron by Kocchi no Kento, MHA Vigilantes opening 1. Okay, that's cool, because the song, the singer's voice sounded vaguely familiar, and I was just not able to place it whatsoever. So that's really cool, that connection. Angels, Tetsuo and Misaki, they're angels? That's crazy. I did think, like, you know, the way that they looked, the girl was wearing traditional clothing, whereas these two are wearing like suits, which was reminding me, especially with like the background colors, it was reminding me of like Psycho-Pass or something. But then I was thinking also of in Gintama, like I can't remember like their name, but like it's like the kind of like police force guys or something, I don't know, that wear suits like this. Seeing them dance and be goofy, I was like, okay, it's they're just some silly people that are just doing silly things. But angels apparently, and they're wearing suits. Shinsengumi, that's what, yes. Might have butchered the pronunciation of that. Track down souls that are unable to move on and find peace, so that are in purgatory. Sorry, I'm trying to find a frame where the coloring isn't like reflecting off my face, but it's a very colorful ending, so it's going to happen regardless. Gently guiding them to pass on. That's really, really interesting. Pretty cool concept, but it feels like that's the kind of series that would tackle both really dark concepts. This seems to be very lighthearted from characters, the way they present themselves, knowing that this is by Sorachi, of course. So it's making me very curious and interested in like the tone of what this maybe is. It feels like it should be very like serious. I don't know if that makes sense. But then again, like I know that Gintama can also have its serious moments, so I'm sure that he handles it very well. Despite their daily quota, the pair take their time listening to the woes of their clients' spirits and help them find closure from their mortal lives. That's really, really sweet. Their pretty relaxed pace gets disrupted when they're assigned an elderly man that very much doesn't seek eternal peace and sprints at full speed in the opposite direction upon seeing them. Hijinks ensue. That final line right there of sprinting full speed in the opposite direction, not ready to move on, that's reminding me of Mind Game, which I watched a couple weeks ago actually. The one shot was put out before Gintama started serializing, so there are elements in it that he would use later on. That's really cool. I know that a lot of popular series do actually start off as like one shots, like I think for an example, like wasn't One Piece a one shot? The Summer Hikaru died, wasn't that a one shot? Like there are a lot of like popular series that, from my understanding, start off as a one shot. Even like JJK with JJK Zero start off as one shots, get picked up because of their popularity. Some aspects are changed, everything like that, to fit like a longer running series. And I guess with something like this, like I don't know if Gintama deals with angels and the aspect of moving on and everything, but I think it is really cool that you can see elements even within an ending like this that remind me of certain moments or things that I remember from Gintama, like these faces that they're pulling, for example. That's a big one. Their little dances and everything, just like the fact that it's a trio once again. I think that that's really cool, and face designs, everything like that, character designs, I think look incredible. They look very true to what I understand to be like a Sorachi look, so I really do appreciate that. I think that that's so cool. The song was so fun. The lyrics talking about flying away, I guess makes sense now with the topic at hand, now that I know it. I was saying during the ending that it felt like kind of about an escapism, but it's more so about like flying onwards to like your next destination, I guess. But now I'm wondering, because two names were mentioned, Tetsuo and Misaki, whereas we see a trio within this, so I wonder if the other character then is maybe like a manager of sorts, the one that gives them their assignments, their daily quota. Even the name Dandelion, it's interesting because dandelions are weeds. It's like reminding me of like when I was trying to analyze the opening for 100 scenes of Awajima, weeds on the side of like a street, being overlooked and everything, while other scenes showed flowers. So like it can represent, you know, like a stunted growth or being overlooked, or even in this case where it's about like, you know, moving on, you know, like you could be seeing, like it shows the dandelion blossoming, and you know, a blossoming dandelion can look pretty to some people, whereas other people will see it as like just weeds. But then I wonder if like over the course of like this one shot, maybe that transitions into something more beautiful, like you start as a dandelion and transition into something else. I'm not really sure what the name Dandelion could be representing on a deeper level, but that's my attempt at it. Song was great, visuals were so fun. It's a really, really good ending. It's the kind of ending that, you know, you'll never skip. Like, you'll finish and you'll just be like vibing along, you'll be having a good time. But knowing that this is a one-shot, then I'm wondering how long this was. Was this only like 6 episodes long or something like that? Like, was it a much shorter series, or was it kind of like fleshed out for a longer, like 12 episode series or something? I think it's really cool that there are other Sorachi series out there. I know that he's recently started serializing a new series within a Shonen Jump magazine, something about to be destroyers or something. I haven't checked it out for myself because, you know, I would want to kind of start with Gintama or something, like an older work. I wouldn't want to jump into something new. It ended up being 7 episodes, so they definitely added new stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, look at something like JJK Zero, for example. It was a single volume one shot, and it was like, what, 90 minutes long, like movie. So that's what, 20, 40, 60, 80, like maybe 4 episodes total. So yeah, you're gonna have to flesh something out to reach 7 episodes. I assure you there's no continuity between Gintama and his new thing. Yeah, but it's like the tone and like his style. Like, I'm sure that when you're checking out something like Gintama, you can see it kind of become what it is, if that makes sense. And I'm sure that is continued into the new series. If that, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of like my thing with it. I would want to see the sausage being made opposed to just like seeing the sausage. Sorry, that's besides the point. But yeah, no, this is a great ending to start today off with. I'm really, really glad that we were able to check out something new. This does look like a very fun series. This looks like the kind of thing that, you know, it being only 7 episodes long would be very easy to just put on and watch and just have a good time with. So, you know, I hope that people enjoyed Dandelion. I hope that we get more of Sorachi going forward. I don't know if he has many other series out there, but yeah, no, this is really, really cool. So yeah, it had no opening, really, is the thing. It's just an ending. That's crazy. 7 episodes and no opening. That's wild, especially when Gintama had such incredible openings. But yeah, let's see what we get in ending number 2. Here we go. I'm really upset with myself that I didn't just call out, this looks almost Gintama-esque from like this shot or something. I'm actually really annoyed with myself. I need to just start doing that again. Oh, that's bright. The heartbeat. This Marriagetoxin? That's a very familiar voice. It's really fun. I love getting to see her character more because I didn't really know much about her from the opening. Loves a great, like, I love you, shake now, baby. I like the 2 moles under her eye as well. I feel like it's always just 1 mole. So I think it like makes her stand out. Resting on the murder happening right underneath her. Something smells off. This is a really, really fun ending. Shakina, baby. Oh, but the cogs. That sounded like Eve, and you're gonna tell me this is actually not Eve. There's no way Eve did an opening and ending in the same season, right? That boy, I feel like he has not been pumping out all that much lately. That sounds nothing like Eve. Are you crazy? This sounds exactly like Eve. You're crazy. You are crazy. That sounds like Eve to me. There's just something about Eve's voice. This sounds like Eve to me. This is the ending for Marriagetoxin, Chika na Baby by AKASAKI. This is a great introduction to them, and I hope we hear more from them. Maybe they should team up with Eve someday so that, you know, I'm right. You know, it'll just sound like it's just AKASAKI. The ED changed throughout the show to include the potential marriage partner Gero was courting. Interesting. Otherwise, it would default to Kinosaki. You suppose you could also mention that Kinosaki's voice actress was Shion Wakayama, who also voiced Momo from Dandelion. That's so cool. Great voice actress. Really, really dig the work that she does. I do really like the idea of trying to court different characters and it'll show them together maybe throughout the ending, but if not, then it's just defaulting here. That kind of plays into like a similar way of like the Beastars season 1 endings, where there's like 3 different endings that have, you know, little changes that, well, some of them aren't little changes, they're pretty big changes that over the course of the series you might see one play episode 1 and then episode 5. I think that that's really cool, and I really do dig that way of doing things for an ending, because it doesn't happen all too often where it's not just an ending plays out until it finishes and then you get another ending or something. Like, that's typically the way I'm used to things, where you'll see an ending for a certain number of episodes and then it'll move on to the next, not one that will show up every now and then. It'll like interchange. So that's a really, really cool way of doing things. This ending as well was just so fun. This part right here, for example, we're seeing her just like rest on this like screen where murder is happening, absolutely blind to the fact that there's some crazy shit going down right underneath, like absolutely blissfully unaware, which, you know, good for you, but at the same time, how does that affect things that happen in the series? Imagery like this reminds me a lot of Steins Gate with the cogs and everything. I don't think the symbolism is used in a similar way. This is kind of more so about like making the pieces fall into place opposed to like the machinations and everything. That's kind of what it feels like, you know, the cogs, putting the cogs into place to make things move accurately. This seems to be the role of our character right here, this character right here, who is trying to get our MC linked up with a partner. You know, I think it's a really fun concept, and seeing the way she looks to be really just having a good time, having a fun time, and just like vibing throughout this entire ending just gives me a better grasp of the character than like the opening did, because the opening was so focused on all this other stuff that there was very little screen time for this character. So seeing a whole ending dedicated is just it's really nice for me to actually get a grasp of the fun side of the character, but also like a sense of longing and, you know, dissatisfaction at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, there's different shots where, you know, they're looking longingly off or something, or like smiling on one side of the screen and then looking a little off in the other, to kind of show you the, you know, it's a multi-layered character. It's not just all like fun. They just look to be like the life of the party within this ending. They really do bring a lot of energy. They bring a cool fun side to this, and it gives me like a better insight into the dynamic that might play out within the series itself. It's not going to be just all killing with some romance. Like, it's probably like very silly goofy with some killing attached. Like, I don't know, it kind of gives me that kind of feel, and I do really appreciate actually getting this insight into this character, into this world a little better. The song was really, really fun. I really did enjoy the kind of like rhythmic beat that's keeping everything going, because it kind of like matches the energy that she's outputting throughout this ending. What do you mean that doesn't sound like Eve? Come on. But anyway, it's really fun. It has this little breakdown right here where like it's starting to sound like house track or something. Like, I don't really know. Like something you would hear in like what was it called? Like that old like YouTube channel that like it was for the gamers, like what was it, Monster Cat? I don't know, like it breaks down and starts to sound like that. Bones flexing their fighting animation whenever they can too. Oh hell yeah, you're absolutely right. I do appreciate that we get an insight into that. They've done that with this filter over it to kind of give it like almost like a dream-like feel, or like, you know, it's secondary. I don't know, like it's interesting because like the fighting and everything, while that is what he does, that's his like profession, the fact that it's on this smaller screen while this character up here is huge makes it feel like this is very much like the secondary important thing within this. Like, it's it's secondary to the romance, for example. You wish it was secondary. Oh no. That's how it feels anyway from shots like this. But then again, the opening was very focused on the action and everything. Bones is one of the best to do it, of course. Like, they're never going to disappoint when it comes to action. It's just really cool getting a little glimpse insight into it within this here. Fun dynamics and like juxtaposition between like the two characters that we see very blatantly within this ending. Your problem was the fighting took up too much time and the romance part was the better part. Really? Well, that's a shame. Maybe it wanted to set the stage for a season 2, and you know, season 2 will maybe be more focused on something like that, hopefully anyway. But yeah, let's see what we get in number 3, ending number 3. Here we go. Kill shot. Is this Kill Blue? Looks like an assassin right there. There's the beat. Just the way it goes from like dark and gloomy and mysterious to like this. Ride or die. I wonder then if the series does cut between like 13-year-old and then older version, like, you know, like flashbacks and stuff. This sounds like it could be another like K-pop group. I know aespa did the opening. The characters look really fun here. Looks like a really good cast. That character with the dummy is just taking me out of it. Oh, that was a really cool, like, I don't know, just the transitioning there. Damn, what does it mean? Kill shot. Sure, that's probably the name of the ending here. It feels like it's very like noir-esque from the way when it's showing like him older. Like, it's very like noir-esque. I don't know if that makes sense. And then as soon as he gets stung, there's a bolt of like color flashes into the world and he becomes his younger self. So it's like the world is brighter, the world is more full when he is like a younger version of himself, and he's not like it's maybe like a story of like a burnt out like man who gets a second chance at life almost, and he maybe wants to change things. Like, maybe he doesn't want to go into this line of work anymore, and maybe that's kind of a focus of the series. This is the ending for Kill Blue, Kill Shot by RIIZE. This time a male K-pop group. I did say that. I said during the middle of it, I was like, this sounds like it could be another K-pop group, because I know aespa did the opening, so that's I'm glad I said it. So that's both the opening and ending done by K-pop groups, which is the first time you've seen that. That's really cool, and I'm sure that that was probably intentional for like a promotion aspect, because you know, K-pop is as big as it was like several years ago, like if not even bigger. Like, I don't know, it's a very big genre, and it's very popular genre. So having names that are probably popular. I know of aespa. I've never heard of RIIZE before. I'm sure they're also is like very popular though. Hearing that is just really cool, because like I'm sure that was like free promotion for this series. Well, I say free promotion, I'm sure they paid a lot, but yeah, no, that's really cool, because I know that we've had some other openings and endings from K-pop artists, etc. In the past. But yeah, like Pinecino saying, I'd never personally checked out like a series that had opening and ending by K-pop artists. You do remember a thing from the first episode is that he had tears of joy learning math at school. That's really sweet. I can only imagine that it is very much, he gets an out, but he's not out. It's like getting a second chance, and I'm sure that over the course of the entire series, it kind of leans into him not wanting to live that kind of life anymore. He's found some kind of joy. He's found some kind of happiness. He's found like himself again. He's not just living for his duties, living for, you know, being this well-renowned assassin. He's not like living for like someone else. He's living for himself. And I'm sure that well, I would hope rather that is kind of a message carried throughout the series, because this was really a really nice ending here. You know, we get to see all these other characters. She's, I'm guessing, the daughter of Big Pharma. We see from a shot like this like some sort of loneliness, isolation, as she's kept away. You know, we're not getting the shot, this shot from inside the car, like where we are with her. You know, we're getting a shot through the window to kind of show the loneliness she might have. Even if she's a popular character at school, like outside of like school, she's got really nobody, I would guess. That's why seeing like a shot like this is really interesting, because yeah, she does seem to be quite popular, but she's not interested, and the only person who's not looking their way is of course our MC, who is not interested in that way, but he's interested for other reasons, so he's gonna have to get close to her. I wonder what book this is that he's reading. It's just cool seeing like the wonder and awe as he's reading this here, like mouth open, eyes wide, for it to then cut to him. I can't tell if these are different papers, because the images and like everything on the paper are the same, but it almost looks like glimpses into different days in his life where he's reading the paper and everything's the same, nothing's different, and you know, he doesn't look happy. He looks kind of miserable, and he just tosses it away. His eyes are half shut, there's sadness on his face, like his mouth is like in a bit of a frown, his cheeks are sunken, everything like that. So it does do a great job of juxtaposing younger self and older self, and showing like the joys of like being young and being free, opposed to like having the shackles of age and time like attached to you, like keeping you back, because you know, he's got all the time in the world to read these books now, whereas maybe he wouldn't have the time as an adult. And then seeing something like this where he's learning to use a phone, that's really, really funny. I hadn't even thought about that, like having to learn to be a child in a modern age. That's probably a really, really funny aspect of the series, using phones, social media, all of this stuff that he wouldn't have had when he was younger, and he definitely doesn't use as an older man. I think that's probably a big part of the humor in the series. I don't know what is happening here, but it looks like he's ready to throw hands with someone. So yeah, I wonder if, because he does look like he's a bit of a dork, a bit of a nerd. He's short. He doesn't look like he would be much of a popular guy at school, or like, you know, much of like an athlete, a fighter, anything like that. So I wonder if he has that same like toughness to him as he would have as an adult, but in this kid's body, because yeah, he doesn't look like he would be tough or anything, but knowing who he is and what he does, like yeah, he's bound to be tough. But yeah, I'm sure that this is very humorous and plays out in a very fun way, but it does look like it also has some serious moments. There are moments where he's pulling out the gun and everything. It looked like he was rescuing Big Pharma's daughter from kidnappers or something, like. So I'm sure that this series handles both the comedy but also some serious moments, but I would imagine it's more comedy than anything else, in a very well balanced way. This ending, I did really enjoy it. It was very, very fun. It was really cool hearing another K-pop group here, and seeing the villain looking characters. They've all got cool designs, and I really dig it, and this looks like a fun series, so I hope people enjoyed it. So let's see what we get in ending number 4. Here we go. Oh, that was another bright flashbang. Is this 100 Scenes of Awajima? I think it's very interesting that like scenes of people like this are shown in separate frames, kind of like separate from the building itself. Damn, a one-shot ballet dance. This feels full of heart right here. Damn. Oh wow, there's someone there now. How long have they been there? And they're just a shadow. Look forward to who I'll become. That was a really, really great ending. When did she appear? Like, did she just suddenly... Okay, it was whenever we Okay, I see. Because I was like, was she standing there for a while and I never noticed? This was really, really great because it starts off with this window and the curtain and like the curtain blowing, showing you once again the building. The building is like the main character of this series. Let me just make sure this is 100 Scenes of Awajima. It is. Okay. The building itself being the main character and it just kind of showing like the wind blowing this curtain kind of like to symbolize a movement in time, I guess, like just the passage of time, followed then by seeing this where she kind of comes into frame. Like she's not there at the beginning, like she appears. As quickly as she appears, she disappears in the ending as well, to emphasize further the way these people's lives are affected by this place. This place is not affected by them per se. Like this place remains, but they are the ones who are affected, whether that be good or bad, by this one place. That's kind of how I'm interpreting this kind of shot in shot, if that makes sense. Because we see her do a beautiful dance, like one shot animated dance, ballet, where it's absolutely stunning with the singer's voice in the background, just so passionate, so full of heart and so full of real passion with this dance as well. Right around here, things pick up and we see like waves wash over her. So you could see that as like a wave of emotion. You know, you could then interpret that as she was dancing on the sand before. So in a way you could be like, well, it's either interpretive dance or it's kind of telling you this is a character that didn't get accepted into this school and so she's dancing on the beach. Like I'm just kind of spitballing here. If she wasn't accepted to this school, then the fact that it's showing her separate from the school itself also makes a lot of sense. And I wonder if the characters that it shows within the ending changes each episode, if it's kind of anthological, because this was really, really stunning. It really just spoke to like me, really just deep, I guess. I don't know, it just was really, really, really passionate. And then this character phasing in and out of view, kind of just further emphasizing like the ghosts of those that came before. Their presence might still be felt, but their presence isn't felt at the same time. Like, you know, like physically they're not there, but their presence might be felt. And then the lyrics for the end being, so for now I can still look forward to who I'll become, because yeah, the people that come here still have their whole lives ahead of them. And the curtain stops blowing, things have calmed down, there's no more like wind, things are just like steady and calm right now, right at the end of the ending, which is like a nice way to end things off. The building's more like the main villain. Yeah, I could completely understand that, but what makes that ironic is that like the building is an inanimate like thing. Like it itself is not the villain, it's been villainized. So I think that's really interesting. This is the ending for 100 Scenes of Awajima, Hikari by Mika Nakashima. Hikari, of course, a great track from Kingdom Hearts as well. The animation of the ending was done by Kunihiko Hamada, who was the character designer for the series and longtime veteran at Madhouse from the early 90s to Monster to Frieren. That's so cool. Until he departed with the wrapping up of Awajima. Really? Well, I hope that he departed, you know, happily, like on his terms. The animation is impeccable here. So if this is the last thing he actually worked on, like this ending, for example, like this is like the last thing he did, what a great way to like send yourself off, I guess. Like this is really great work. It's like not flashy, it's not in your face or anything like that, but this is the kind of ending that sticks with you. This is the kind of ending that, much like the concept of the series, this is one that will stay with you, you know, like these people's lives affected by this place, this ending also very affecting. So I think that that's very fitting. But you know, it is sad to hear that this was the last thing he did at Madhouse, because Madhouse, incredible work that they did with this and everything. I really did love this ending a lot. I liked that it feels both like the end of the ending feels like it's setting up for hope, whereas the fact that the wind is blowing throughout her performance, this girl's performance, gives you a sense of worry, because like, yeah, you could talk about the winds of change, but also like wind can be disruptive. The fact it's the entirety of her performance and it only calms down once she is gone, yeah, it is a little worrying for that character specifically. But like I was saying, I'd be interested to learn if different characters are shown in their ending for their episodes. I wonder then if this girl is the one that was dancing, though. I don't really know, because the hair is up and the hair is down for the two characters that it shows. There's always more out there. Don't peak in high school, right? Like, you should never peak in high school. Has me worried that a lot of the people in this series feel like they peak in high school essentially by going to this this dancing school, this music school. Mika Nakashima, what a beautiful voice, very powerful and very gets through to you, like a very great voice. Instrumentation and everything as well was incredible. It really just was a very touching tribute to this series, and you know, it feels like this ending is kind of a tribute to this location as well. Like Awajima doesn't feel so much about like a character or anything like that. It feels like it is kind of like a tribute to the location once again. But yeah, I think I might be ready to move on to number 5. Here we go. Oh, I keep getting blinded. The drunk one. Wow, this artwork is stunning. Wow. Tipsy we may be. Some of this imagery looks like real, like backgrounds, but then her being present in them, in the style, with like the filtered backgrounds, it's so cool. Taste of You. Aww. She was following the sparkles. This is so sweet. Maybe this is a girls band series all along. That's so cute. But it also kind of like, I don't know why, it makes me feel a bit sad. Like, it feels like these times have passed. Like this kind of ending's making me think of reminiscing times past. Like, and then accompanying the opening as well, where the opening was like vignette and everything like that. It's making me think now, like, this might be the kind of series where it's someone reflecting on their years of college or something. Like, that's how this makes me feel. Like, this makes me feel I want to start reminiscing and stuff like that. I guess that's also attributed by the singer's beautiful voice and everything as well. Really helped drive that point across as well. But this is an ending for Botan Kamiina. Fully blossoms when drunk. Kanjou Glass by Botan Kamiina herself, aka her voice actress Sayumi Suzushiro. That's really nice. Each episode would have unique visuals depicting the backstories of the cast in this style. That's really cool, with the voice actresses taking turns to sing their own version of the song when their character was the focus of an episode. Are you sure this isn't a girl band like series? Like, are you sure? Because this is reminding me of the way like the Kocchi endings were done. The actresses singing their own songs and everything. It reminds me a lot of that. That's really nice. But at the same time, like, this does still, you know, it makes me feel like it's kind of sad, because like, yeah, it's about each of the characters' backstories and everything, it being depicted, and it makes me wonder then if this is more of a like drama than I was anticipating, like maybe an emotional drama series. I know that it's something I actually like while I was editing the opening for this. I was really surprised that I just kind of like skipped over, like I read it out loud and everything, and I acknowledged it, but I didn't really talk about it. That you Pinecino did say that this was like a Yuri series, and I was like, I literally didn't comment on that at all, which I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, because I didn't really get any sense of like that being the case from the opening, but from the ending here and the way like we're following this character like longingly looking in, like they seem to be a character that, if this is Botan Kamiina herself, like that we're following, the one with the two bows in the back of her hair right here, like, oh my god, look at that drawing, like the illustration there, that is stunning. But if this is her that we're seeing, it looks like while she may be outgoing and very like boisterous, for example, she does seem to longingly like crave companionship, crave like these connections, and that probably is a big reason why she does start to drink with, I can't remember the name of the other character, in order to form that connection. Like she craves these connections, and her following like these lights, these stars, does seem like she is kind of like following her want for those connections. Like she's following what she wants. There's a better way of saying that, which leads her right to them. Like she starts off all the way by herself and eventually makes her way here. There's a lot of yearning. Okay, that's a perfect word actually. Like there is this sense of like yearning we do see play out throughout the course of this ending. Of course, the art of each ending was done by the series character designer Ko Yoshinari. That's beautiful. The character designs in series, like obviously when they're being animated and everything, like they do still like have the look of these characters, but they look obviously very different, well, at least from the opening anyway. But this kind of ending style, it both reminds me of visual novel, light novel kind of like look at times. The backgrounds look like there's some real imagery that's been given a filter, but then there's shots like this where it's almost like, I don't know if it makes sense, but like Frieren ending-esque, where it's got this like watercolor look. It's really stunning. It's absolutely beautiful, this entire ending. Like visually, this might be my favorite ending that we've checked out today. The song as well was incredible. Can't get over how great this looks from beginning to end. Ridiculously detailed backgrounds is a thing of his. I can see that present throughout this entire thing. There is no room for error. Like every single thing. A shot like this where a door is open and it could have just been like the light peeking in, because you're not going to be focused on what's over here. Like everything is drawn, like everything down to these boxes. Like he's very clearly got like a huge detail like oriented mind. Like he needs to get everything crammed in there, and it really shows. It's absolutely stunning. I would honestly like love to see Ko Yoshinari do a manga series or something like that, or even be attached to like a light novel series, something like that, because that would be a stunning looking series. I know for a fact. It's really cool, like seeing the characters and everything, their personalities shine through even still in these like still frames, still images. You would hate that? Well, I think it would be really cool, just to see like an entire series like with that kind of look. Keep him in animation. Well, yeah, I'm more so thinking of like Gundam, like went and did like Gundam Origins. I'm thinking kind of like that, where they're not out of animation, but they also like do something within the manga realm as well. Yes, you're right. I was thinking more like that opposed to like just leaving animation altogether. I didn't mean it like that. But yeah, I don't really know like which of the characters it is that she drinks with. Like, is it purple haired girl? Because like a shot like this where we see Botan with these sparkles of like connection and longing going off to the right of the screen, and then the purple hair girl opens the window, like opening a window, very symbolic of like letting someone in, letting something, and purple hair is top yearner you fear. Oh dear. Well, actually, yeah, you actually do see all of them yearning. They're different colors. Like, it's funny because you did kind of allude to it when we were checking out the opening. Misha and I would call the Bochi characters like the yellow one, big yellow, the red one, everything like that. And like, it's funny here because each character has their own color of like connection, longing, yearning, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I don't know like the two characters that like drink the whole concept of the series, because I didn't really see like two characters specifically, if that makes sense. What an incredible ending this was. Kanjou Glass by Botan, Kamiina herself. Absolutely incredible. And I would honestly like be interested in hearing the other interpretations of this. Like, I wonder if it also plays the same kind of instrumentation, if it's as slow, or if some of them maybe have like a different tempo, different beat, you know, different instruments that kind of reflect the kind of character they are. That's Botan's partner at 111, the one with shorter hair. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense, because that's like the one character we see the absolute least of throughout this, and if they are a bit like of a shut-in, prefer their own company, that would make a lot of sense actually. So yeah, you had to look into your own copy to find her. That's really funny. As you said, like, you had to look into it yourself to find her, because yeah, she's not as present in this ending as the others. And of course, she has Bochi's voice actress. Botan has Nijika's, yes. But yeah, I think we might be ready to check out the next ending. This was a real highlight, just like the opening was. And yeah, I can't wait to see what we get in number 6. We're not even halfway through for the day, so let's see what we get. Here we go. Nakamura! Oh, look at the octopus. Oh, yes! We're bringing it back. City Pop. Oh, I love this. Oh no. Don't be sad. You got octopi. I fell in love. Man, this sounds so good. Sad upon my yearning. Oh, this is so good. Come on. When do you hear something like this in modern anime? Very like lo-fi beats girl like kind of visuals, which I think is really cool. What's he working on though? Is he writing something? I don't want it to end. Oh, not the fade out and everything. No. We need more city pop in modern anime. Come on, that was so good. I'd like, it really does fit with the aesthetic that the series goes for, and you know, the comparisons to something like Ranma, Miyasani Koku, Urusei Yatsura. City Hunter was mentioned, I think, during the opening, right? So yeah, just so cool. And even these kind of visuals with like the neon lighting, like, well, not neon lighting, but like it's almost like a neon coloring scheme, the way the shadows and like lights done, making me think of almost like a City Hunter opening ending or something like that, because the colors are very, I don't know like the right word, but like they're both bright and muted at the same time, which sounds crazy to say. So this is an ending. Oh shit. So we have several endings that are in Nakamura. So this is an ending for Go For It Nakamura-kun, Hatsukoi by Kouzou, Murashita, Misoni Koku, opening 5. That's so cool. There's a direct Takahashi connection. Absolutely. I'm sure that they knew what they were doing when they sought out Kouzou Murashita. Was this like a song from the 80s? Like, is that what this is? Like, they just repurposed an 80s song rather than like recording a new one for the ending. Not that it's important or anything, I'm just like curious if this is like an older song that was just taken straight here. Each episode had a unique ending song, which, though you're no expert, all sounded like they were plucked from the same bygone era of J-pop. Once again, reinforcing that retro feel we said during the opening. Absolutely, I love that so much. It's a shame that, we're not going to be checking out all the endings today, but I'm sure that those endings would just be so... I don't know. They would make me really, really happy to hear. I really, really loved the like the 70s, 80s stuff that we listened to. The 80s especially, with all the city pop. Just, it was so fun. It had such a great feel. It really just plucks you up and drops you right down into the middle of the aesthetic, right into the middle of like the era, genre feel that you're supposed to be feeling. Like, it really does do a great job of just reinforcing like themes and just the vibes of the time and everything. And this really hit the nail on the head with that kind of like feeling vibe and everything like that, because as Pinecino alluded to and I alluded to a little earlier, we were talking a lot about how this felt like a series from an older time, a bygone era. Like, it feels like it's taking from that kind of old aesthetic look. It's taking inspiration from older series, and it wears that on its sleeve. Like, it doesn't hide it. It doesn't pretend to be something else. Like, it does a great job of reinforcing all of that stuff. So I think that's really, really fun now to learn the artists behind this ending. And yeah, I was saying the song might have been my favorite for the previous one, I can't remember, but now we've got to compete with like a city pop track, which is almost unfair. So yeah, I'm so glad that this was in here, because this really did make me happy. And seeing a very simple kind of like visual, I think, is quite fitting for the series itself, because the opening was very like out there, very flashy, and it really held no punches back. Do the visuals change per ending as well, or is it mostly just the song? I'm wondering now, because this ending the visuals change as well. Interesting. I wonder if some of the visuals for the endings are also quite flashy, or like the opening, or if they're all kind of like laid back and like kind of simpler like this one, because I do really like the simple kind of look and feel of this ending a lot. Like, we're seeing him working on something. Like, I would guess he's writing a note that he plans to give to his love interest. They're all kind of studying with lo-fi beats coded. Gotcha. Well, no, that's cool then, because I do really, really like this kind of feel and look and everything, because it does give it like a retro feel. And seeing him from behind as well, and he does at one point like glance over, and it's kind of like, either you see nothing, or what are you looking at? Like, it's like an uncomfortable look to see, like, are you still here kind of thing. I think that's really funny, because it kind of fits with his like shy personality and everything like that. And the lyrics talking about falling in love, loneliness and everything as he's looking back. Yeah, I think that it's very, very fitting, the sense of yearning mentioned within the ending lyrics as well. And we get to see, of course, his big interest in life, his octopus, and also his little plush over to the left of the screen as well, to his left. Yeah, they get a really great sense of capturing his personality here. He's very much focused on what he's doing, but he also then is worried that he's being perceived, and it's making me wonder if there is any kind of like fourth wall break within this series, because like it feels almost like he's aware of us perceiving him through this ending, and the kind of character that he is, I'm sure that would affect him greatly. The idea of him being perceived when he's someone who reads a manga series and bases his ideal romance off of that. It's kind of like watching someone being watched kind of idea, if that makes sense. But this was absolutely stunning. I really, really love the song, really love the visuals, really love the look of it, and I really, really did enjoy this ending. And I would be interested in hearing the rest of the songs at some point in the future for Go For It Nakamura-kun, because this is just an era of music that makes me really, really happy. But yeah, I think we're going to check out the next one. I think we're going to move on and see what we get in ending number 7 for the day. So yeah, let's see what we get in this next one. Here we go. Looks like a Takahashi drawing right there. Window grills. These look like Takahashi characters. Not the death flowers. White death flowers. What does that mean? Oh, that looks cool. It's like one of those kids' books that you can like move like a little piece of paper on the bottom to make things move. Damn, look at that fashion. They look cool. A spell speaking of love. Oh, not the red string of fate. Oh no. So curse me. Character right at the end there looked almost Inuyasha-esque, but I don't know much about that. Connected to Rainbow Fire. What does Rainbow Fire mean? This is Mao, produced by Sunrise, directed by Teruo Sato. A lot of directing Inuyasha experience. That would make sense and why I thought it looked Inuyasha-esque. Character designs by Yoshihito Hishinuma, also Inuyasha, scripted by Yugo Kakihara, the Urusei Yatsura reboot on Blue Box. Was there anyone that worked on this that didn't work on some aspect of a Takahashi work in the past? And based on the manga by the one and only Rumiko Takahashi, the song is Juai? Cursed Love by True. All the Hibike openings. Ah, that's really, really cool. This shot right here, I haven't checked out anything in Inuyasha yet, so I'm only, regarding this comment based off like seeing character designs. But this does look like Inuyasha's character design to me, like with the long white hair, almost like cat-like eyes, I guess. I don't really know. The characters do look really, really cool. Like I love this kind of modern look for like a Takahashi work. Like anything I've seen Inuyasha and indeed her older series, they've either got like a very specific look from that era or like an almost fantasy-esque look or something like that. So seeing characters with her designs, which have been translated incredibly well by the character designer here, it's absolutely like incredible seeing her characters in a modern setting, because like I have never seen anything like it before, and it looks so good. Like she does a great job of like, the look of clothing and everything. I don't really know. Nanoka notices an oddity about her local abandoned shopping arcade. Stepping through its gates sends her back a century. So, okay, maybe we are going back in time to like an older era. Never mind. Almost immediately, she's attacked by a yokai and rescued by Mao, an investigator by day, an exorcist by night. Don't tell me Takahashi was also swept up by the huge wave of Exorcist manga that was like just flooding every magazine like 10 years ago or whatever. Don't tell me she was maybe not as long as 10 years ago, but don't tell me she was also swept up in that. When cases reveal their supernatural nature, cursed by the cat demon Byoki to slowly become its host, Mao discovers that Nanoka has not only awakened latent abilities, but can also wield the blade Byoki had bound to him alone. A connection blossoms between them. I can imagine, if I know one thing about Takahashi, it's that while a series might look like it's, action, fantasy, sci-fi, anything like that, at the core of it all, it's a romance, right? At the core of pretty much every Takahashi work I can think of anyway, it's romance at the end of the day. She is still publishing manga weekly. No break since Urusei Yatsura in the late 70s. Holy, is she okay? That is absolutely insane. Man, like, she's on some Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen at the same time. You give her a pass because it's just fascinating seeing someone that legendary still going and taking influence from modern things. Yeah, no, absolutely. I know there are a lot of Exorcist manga, like even today, like I open the Shonen Jump app and there's like probably 5 currently being published weekly series that are Exorcist related. So you know, it gets to the point where you're like, I don't really want to start this new series because I feel like it's going to be the same as every other. I think it's really, really, really cool, and I cannot believe she has not taken any real breaks since the late 70s. Like, is she okay? Like, I'm sure that she enjoys what she does. She could take a break anytime she wants. If she finishes a series, she could obviously take a break. She is a huge key example of doing it for the love of the game. And I think that's really, really cool. She's also seen like 3 Exorcist blooms over the decades anyway. Fair enough. The design's stunning. The characters look great. They're translated incredibly well. It's definitely like, you know, you get the sense of like this time travel, you know, with seeing designs like this and then designs like I was showing later on, like here followed by this. And yeah, just something about these characters, they look so cool. Like, I wonder then if she brings others into this world with her, like if she can come and go as she pleases or not, or maybe these are characters from like the past that she's bringing to the future, because we do see them in both styles, like old and new, you know. So I think that that's really cool. I would more so think that they're maybe from the past because of like he's wearing an eye patch, he's got a scar under his face, so they've obviously been fighting or something. And I don't know if they would really have got injuries like that from the modern time, but then I don't really know how Takahashi writes her stories all that much. It does seem like it's got this really unique feel to it, even if it is reminding me of like, you know, it's reminding me of Inuyasha without even knowing anything about Inuyasha. That makes literally no sense. I think it's just because of like seeing character designs and like I'm pretty sure he also uses a sword and everything. So, and like the kind of setting that it looks to be set during, it looks almost like a similar time period. I'm not sure. These characters, like it looks like it's going from like devil on your shoulder all the way to like angel on your shoulder kind of thing. The girl on the far right, she looks like she's part of something she doesn't want to be a part of, and it's kind of forced upon her, if that makes sense. You're on the money though. It is very reminiscent of Inuyasha. Well, I'm glad I don't sound crazy. But you like it more than Inuyasha, to be honest. That's really cool. I don't really know much about Inuyasha. One of my wife's friends, it is her favorite anime. Inuyasha is. That's like my only real connection with it. I do know that people did not like the continuation for Inuyasha that came out like a few years back. That's another thing I know about Inuyasha. Like I was saying, character designs are sick. Like they look really, really good. They look like they're really just Takahashi in a modern style, and I think that that's a great thing because like no matter what era, no matter what decade you go to, you can find a Takahashi work and you can see maybe how that, like, she's almost like a gauge for like the times, you know. Like you go back to like Urusei Yatsura, right? You can see the changing of the times from Urusei Yatsura all the way up to Mao. And I hope that there's more to come from her, like that we're going to see animated, because it would just be so cool to see her continue to be animated through the decades. Like I just think that it's really, really cool. Like it's a really cool indicator of like what decade, era, whatever it is that you're on. Takahashi, to put it simply, is like a mainstay, and she's a certainty in anime and manga. Kind of like 2 things in life are certain, blah blah blah, like that kind of idea. The idea of this is really interesting. It makes me wonder how it works for like entering and leaving this arcade. If she's cursed really when she steps in, when she leaves, if she can leave and go back to like her real time period, is she still cursed? Does she notice It's something to do with the curse. I don't really know, but like this kind of segment right here in the opening, I really loved. It reminded me of like a child's book, one that like you can like move a little piece of paper and move a character around in the book. Paper cutout look. It's really cool seeing like modern against like traditional here. It's really playing into that whole blending of the times, and I wonder if that continues like throughout the series itself, where you're seeing like the comparison between modern and traditional, but like it's very similar in a way as well, because like Takahashi does seem to enjoy like doing traditional works, like drawing traditional clothing, everything like that, character set in like older time periods. Rumiko Takahashi is the death and taxes of anime. You heard it here first. You have to say that guy on the left, same voice actor as Zenitsu. Oh no, I already hate him. He looks a lot cooler than Zenitsu though. Mao is voiced by Yuki Kaji. Oh shit, okay. Yuki Kaji, I feel like he hasn't had as many big roles in the past like 5+ years. The years since I've been kind of following anime more, he's not really been as at the forefront as he once was, I feel like. This red string of fate, I wonder if this is Mao or if this is the curse thing, whatever it was. What was it called? Byoki? Because there is like some evil look there, like it's kind of scary, but then the string of fate goes beyond that and we see this fire. I don't really know what the fire represents. I really don't know. Pinecino, do you have any interpretation of this flame, or is that spoilers? Does anybody have an interpretation of the flame that's not spoilers? Because I really don't know what this like multicolored flame is. Like, yeah, it's really stumped me. You're not carrying that flame. Yeah. I mean, could you attach a piece of string to it? I don't know if I have anything left to say about this. This was a really great one. I love that we followed up Nakamura with an actual Takahashi series. That was a really cool way that you did this, Pinecino. But yeah, let's see what we get in number 8. Let's go. I see a moon. I see mention of rockets. That can only mean one thing. There he is. Wow, look at this art style. Wow, this looks great. This reminded me of like, was it the first or second ending? Oh, look at them all working. Purple guy in the background. This feels very like joyful and very like uplifting. I really love this. There he is. Reaching for the moon. And there we all are together. Wow, we're actually seeing the blast off. Wow, the lyrics all about being like this idea of going to the moon. That's really cool. I'm making it like kind of pinching it like that to make it within reach. Oh, and there he is with Pops looking up to the moon together. And I'm pretty sure we saw him on the moon right here, was it? Like, surely that was him, right? Waiting for him. This was stunning looking. This looked incredible. I love the like kind of flat colored, no outline look of the way this was animated. Like the animation in Dr. Stone endings has always been incredible. While the openings are great, like in a way, like the endings are what I remember most because they are so beautiful, so stunning, and like they always have a unique look to them. And here we are once again with like this incredible song in the background, just complementing the end of the journey really well. You know, the end of the series, like it's all about getting to that point. And here we see everybody cheering them on, like waving them off as they leave on the rocket. Like, are you telling me that pirate guy didn't go on the rocket with them? evil scientist guy isn't actually evil because he's with them. Shots like these just make this feel like, once again, this was a huge collaborative effort, and this was something that they all really worked towards. And yeah, I just absolutely love it. This is the final ending for Dr. Stone. I cannot believe it. Rocket by Burnout Syndromes, the series' very first opening, of course. Good Morning World, Haikyuu Season 2 Opening 2, Season 3 Opening, and then Season 4 Opening 1. Burnout Syndromes are really great. I love their work in Haikyuu. They obviously had a great iconic first opening for Dr. Stone, and like, I was thinking while I was watching this, I was like, in my head, I was like, I wonder if right at the end of the series it kind of ends with them on the moon or something, like, you know, whatever the final shot is, whatever the final scene is. And I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be really iconic and like great if the final scene kind of shows planet Earth and Good Morning World starts playing over the top of that? Like, that would be so insanely fitting. And I think that that would be a great way to round out the series. That's the kind of scene that, like, you would get to the end and, like, if it was me, I know for a fact I would start like tearing up, because it would feel like a huge culmination, a huge like moment reaching the end. Like, whether or not it plays out or not, like, you know, following a journey like this for so long would probably like get to me, and especially one that, you know, I've had this attachment to through openings and endings. And like I alluded to during the opening, I still don't really know the overall plot for Dr. Stone. Like, it's one of the few series, one of the only series maybe, that I have been able to watch every single opening, every single ending, and it's a longer series. Like, there's several openings and endings, and try to figure out what I think is going on. And, you know, the overwhelming response for those videos has been mind-blowing, because everyone is so positive, everyone has been so great, you know, like, nobody spoils anything. We have these little talks and discussions, and I think it's really fun. And, you know, it is sad that that's going to end now. It's sad that this is the last time we get to check out a new Dr. Stone opening or ending. It is very bittersweet. They get up there and have to fight Zodiac. Yeah, no. They get up there, they have to talk to the Watcher, they have to meet with some little bunnies, and then they gotta fight evil itself. Essentially. Imagine this is actually just a prelude to Endwalker. Now that we're here at the end, it is very like sad. Like, I don't know, this should be like a very like joyful thing, that like the series was able to end in a good way. Like, it wasn't rushed, it didn't get a bad job like animation wise or anything, because from what I've heard, it was done great justice from beginning to end. But, you know, it is sad because yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready to say goodbye to Dr. Stone just yet. But thankfully, and, you know, something that I'm very fortunate is that I haven't even seen the series itself, so like, I'm not finished with Dr. Stone. It just feels like a chapter is closing, if that makes sense. But yeah, like, what a wonderful shot right here. Like, honestly, you're staring down the barrel of a full series watch later in the year for the awards. Well, I'm very excited for you to dive in like that. I hope that you enjoy it, Pinecino, because yeah, this is a really like special looking series. And the characters, the fact that it's got such a huge cast, and the fact that it looks as though like the character work is great. Like, it doesn't look like we kind of like introduce characters just to shove them down. Like, I'm sure that does happen, it's a big cast, it's gonna happen regardless, but it's really cool to see that these characters, they come together in the end, whether they had their differences, whether they had their fights, scuffles, whatever happened to be, they come together at the end to celebrate this huge momentous occasion. Within the ending itself, and the series itself, that huge momentous occasion does seem to be Senku going to the moon, and the lyrics all about going to the moon. But like, at the same time, this is like, you could look at something like this and see that they're celebrating like the end, like they're coming together. And it's like it almost feels like the kind of image that like an anime or a manga artist would do for like a thank you for 5 years or something like that, you know. Like, this feels like a huge like cast drawing to celebrate. Like, that's what this looks like to me, and I really do love it. Burnout Syndromes did a remarkable job here. I really love Burnout Syndrome's openings, and I'm really glad that we got to hear another one, because Yeah, it's been a while since I've heard Burnout Syndromes, even though, like, I say it's been a while. I did just finish watching like Haikyuu not long ago, you know, in my own time. So I was hearing Burnout Syndromes quite a bit, but it's different because I heard the openings on the channel first. But like, you know, I want to hear more new Burnout Syndromes, and I'm really glad that we got this because this is instantly iconic. It's instantly great, and it's instantly joining the list of great Dr. Stone openings, endings, everything like that. And I feel like there was something else that did this not long ago. It was like a long running series that wrapped up. The ending artist was the same artist that did the opening. I can't remember what the series was. I feel like it might have been Winter 2026. It could have been. I'm not entirely sure. MHA. Yes, that's it. It was My Hero Academia, the first opening artist returning for the final. It's really nice when series do that, where they bring back the first opening artist for the final series. And especially something like this, where if the opening plays before anything in the episode, for example, in the first episode of Dr. Stone, I don't know if there's like a cold open or anything. Cold open. I don't know if like it plays anime footage before it plays the opening, but if it plays the opening first and the first thing you hear is Burnout Syndromes, and then the final episode plays here and the final thing you hear is Burnout Syndromes, what a bookend. What an incredible bookend. What a way to like celebrate a series like this. And it was obviously very well thought out by TMS. I hope it's TMS, because it is really, really just a great way to celebrate such a huge series like this. There's not really so much to analyze from this one. It's more so about like, you know, the journey and celebration and getting to the point where they actually reach their goals. And that really is what this ending is about. I don't think there's really much more to say besides that. Yeah, that's it for me for Dr. Stone, unless I one day check out the anime series, which I do hope to do one day. So yeah, let's see what we get in ending number 9. Yeah, let's see what we get. Here we go. There, we're back with the needy girl. I really like seeing this kind of like different look. It's not as intense and hyper in your face. This is like a more intimate look. Is this Tatsuya Kitani? Probably not. Burning car. Crazy visual. Every time I hurt myself. As a bad kid forever. What? Don't want to be isolated, so we go online and stream to thousands. Unreality. Damn, look at her go. She does not obey the rules of physics anymore. This was a really interesting one because this was so different from the opening that this feels like very sad, whereas the opening just seemed like it was intense, crazy all the time. It seems to be that this whole ending seems to be blurring the lines between the real person and the persona, and I feel like that's probably, and like I can't say for sure, but that might be something that like people within the VTubing community might deal with, where people expect them to always be on, people expect them to always be their online personas, everything like this, whereas like, you know, when they're away from the camera, like they might be a different person, they might be like a lot more chilled, a lot more calm. So this seems to be like kind of blurring that line where like maybe the main character themselves, the needy girl, has shred away all that's left of her, like to the point where like the lyrics here were saying there's not even a shred of unreality left, like to the point where like she's just embodied this character. This is the ending for Needy Girl Overdose, Levitation by Tatsuya Kitani. Didn't Tatsuya Kitani also do an opening this season? Like, am I crazy? He did 2 this season. That's sick. I love my boy Tatsuya Kitani. He's got such an instantly recognizable voice. I feel like he's one that I can pick out so easily. Every song that he's done, it's been so different from the rest. Like everything he's done before. JJK opening 3, season 2 opening 1, so catchy and like nice. And then you get like Ranger Reject opening, which is so different from what he did before, and then this one as well, where it's like a lot more stripped back. It's got a beat like with his other songs, but you know, it's definitely a lot more somber. Like it sounds like it's keeping you down. It's not like picking you up, where it's like there might be a thumping beat, but that like is kind of contradictory, like much like what the series itself might feel like, with this character that we're seeing trying to balance 2 different personas, 2 different personalities, and you know, them eating off each other. I can't remember if the description for Needy Girl Overdose stated that we ever see the real her. Wouldn't it be really funny if it ended up kind of being like, to use a comparison, Shangri-La Frontier, which I also watched recently, by the way, the professor, where it's like this little like girl, but this like old ass man's voice coming from it, once again mirroring the idea of like, you don't know who it is behind the camera. Like a series like this with an ending like this, it doesn't feel like it would kind of be played for jokes if that was the case. Like, I'm not saying it would be the case, but it does feel like with a series like this, it does seem to be like warning against a bunch of like dangers, like, you know, these relationships you make with like people online and everything, and how you perceive people and how you idolize. It feels like it could be like the case where, if that was to be the case, you never know who this person is. You're afraid that's a bit of a tired joke for VTubers? I could imagine, yeah. Again, like I said during the opening, I'm not really in those circles, so I'm not trying to offend anyone. The visuals themselves spends a lot of time in like this really washed out, dull, grey kind of look and aesthetic. Is she hitting a hookah here? Like I don't know what is happening. It's interesting because like for someone who is so widely popular, and you know, the whole idea of this is that she's huge, you would think maybe she's got a lot of money, and here we see like a very normal looking kitchen living room area, like connected. Like it doesn't look like a rich person's house, for example. Then you could also question, like, is this some like high schooler? Like, is this just like a child who suddenly blew up and, you know, they're living with their parents? I'm just throwing out ideas. I really don't know anything. I think it's interesting as well, the her hair, it looks like helix for like DNA, you know, the pink and like the green or blue, whatever it is, ambiguity or gender fluidity of the character. I'm not really sure, but like, does that make sense? A lot of this opening is spent like in this really gray kind of look, which is ironic because it spends all that time looking like this when we're seeing the real world. So this is maybe how this character sees the world, where like nothing is exciting, nothing is good enough. They are at their best, they are at their happiest when they are online, when they are streaming, when they're getting attention, when they're maybe like the center of attention or something like that. Whereas like the only way we see her get attention here in the real world is, you know, what looks to be she's going to jump off a bridge or something. Like it looks like you know, this whole idea of like neediness and craving attention, all of that, like the way that you get attention online versus in the real world are very, very different. I think it's also very interesting that throughout the entire opening, or the entire ending rather, we didn't see like any kind of idea or glimpse into the real person. It's just this persona, it's this character the entire time. So yeah, it kind of tells you a lot about how they feel about themselves maybe, and what they want from their life. Even in this like gray world, the only color is really from her hair, what she's wearing and everything like that. This fire is crazy. I don't really know how to interpret what this fire is supposed to represent. Like, that's the second time I'm questioning fire. Lighting a fire to a car and then just standing and watching. Is it once again to get attention, just to feel something, just for something to happen? Like, I don't know. This was a really, really great ending. I'm glad we checked this one out. I'm surprised at the ending. I thought the ending for a series like Needy Girl Overdose would be energetic, much like the opening was, but no, this was very, very different, and I'm glad, because it gave me a different feel for the series, gave me a different look and insight into what this could be, the characters, everything like that. So yeah, I'm really glad that this one did shine a different light on the series itself. But I think I'm ready now to move on and see what we get in ending number 10. Here we go. Demons of the Shadow Realm. Look at this artistry. Wow, these illustrations are so nice. Yomi no Tsugai. Wow. It's not what I was expecting. This single strumming guitar with a really beautiful voice coming through. Those must be the two deities. Kick drum coming in. Wow, this looks really, really pretty. Was she doing exercises? Look at the kitty! That's a big kitty. That's a cute dog. I really, really like this song. Wow. Is that a big turtle? Big red eye. We can fly together. We're gonna go on this adventure to do I don't know what, take down the big bad together. I even really, really like the way they had the title of the series come in. Like, it feels cinematic, but the way it starts off with what could be perceived as like the tree of life, we see characters come into frame and everything. It goes from like, what's that like, what's that called when it's like a French word or something, when like, say there's a camera angle that's slightly off. It feels like it starts off in a way that's like, to make you feel a bit, yeah, I guess like a Dutch angle, yeah. But there's also like a French word, how it makes you feel, like just cause. Yeah, I know. But anyway, it starts off kind of like a Dutch angle where like it's like something's not right, but we're slowly making things right. We're positioning the tree so that it's upright, and that only happens when we start to see our characters. But then right after that, it starts to go in the opposite direction. So yeah, maybe it's more so to show the way the world goes, like, you know, things are going to continue, things don't slow down for anything. But I do really love the use of symbols within this, like the way things come into frame and everything. Like at the beginning, we see the characters coming into frame, we see the title come into frame, this symbol, this emblem, which I can only imagine is related to those that kidnapped our MC here. This is the first ending for Demons of the Shadow Realm, Toboyo Let's Fly by Yama. Ranking of Kings ending 1, Witch from Mercury opening 2, and Sanda opening. That's so cool. I'm glad we got more Yama. That's really cool. I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but like an ending that this reminded me of was, I don't even remember which season it was, for Attack on Titan. It's the one that's like you got a children singing and stuff. I think it's not reminding me of that too much. It's just like, you know, this kind of filtered look over everything with slow instrumentation. Like, it's not like a big band and then like one voice kind of coming over it. It's making me think of that for that reason, not comparable for any other reason. It's a really, really stunning looking ending. The song was really, really just sweet. I really, really did like the song. And you did say ending 1, so that means there are more than one ending for Demons of the Shadow Realm, and I wonder if that alludes to the fact that it's still airing right now. Maybe a new season for the new season, new ending for the new season. I can't even speak. It does have this very washed look throughout the ending. Not to constantly go back to this, but it did remind you of the look of the Full Metal Alchemist 03 ending. Did I see the ending? I feel like all I saw was the opening. Maybe I'm wrong though, but I think all I saw for FMA was like '03 was the opening and FMA '03 ending. Okay, I see. I don't know if I've seen any of the endings for it, just like the first opening. But no, it does have a very like washed look over everything, which makes it look dated, which plays into what you were saying with it looking like an older ending. And it definitely gives it this sense of like, it plays into the whole like mythos maybe of the series with these deities, and not necessarily set in an older time period, but like we have a character who has to go from an older time period to a modern one, essentially the way that they were raised. So maybe this ending kind of with this kind of washed and older looking look over it kind of plays into that idea of how you're going to feel watching it or how it makes you feel. I really love these shots with the dog and the cat. The cat's really funny. The poor dog didn't do anything wrong. It's just rolling around. It's adorable. But that's just how it be. I think it's really cool as well getting to see all the characters with what look to be summoned entities or whatever it is that they call them in this. Like, I don't know if it's yokai or something, whatever they use to fight. It's like a latent ability within them. We get to see that, and some of them might represent like, you know, the personalities of the person, but really I don't really know. But I think what's interesting is that it almost looks as though each character is able to summon one being, one thing, whereas our main character is able to summon two. So I wonder if that's a unique thing to him, or if there's anything mysterious about that, or maybe that's just a normal thing. You're going to blow my mind. They're called demons? Oh my. I cannot believe it. Everyone can summon two of them. Okay, fair enough. I feel like I just saw like one for each person, but maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough. Oh, I guess the rabbit, yeah, and the turtle. Okay, maybe. I'm starting to see this big red eye looming over him and like watching. Very scary looking, probably related to like the main villains. We see that eye watching even here in the distance when it's showing all of our characters. It's a really cool shot. It's a very dated looking ending on purpose. It's reminding me of something, but I'm not able to place what. Probably something like from an older era. And yeah, this was a really good one. I love the coloring style. Like it's like coloring pencils, it looks like. It's very scratchy. Nothing is perfect, and that's entirely on purpose. Even the shading of the characters' faces, it looks very different from a finished product of how it would look in series. Bold, single color backgrounds make the characters both stand out, but like some of the times with the colors, it gives a sense of unease, making me wonder now what the main genre of this is. Like, I know that it's action, but is it fully action, or are there other genres? Because some of the scenes here with certain camera angles and colors and everything, it's full on battle shown. Okay, it's making me think like it could almost be like horror light, like horror adjacent, or maybe that's just like the thriller aspect of it. You know, there's probably mystery. It does certainly look incredible. The way the animation is done with all this the coloring and everything, it is stunning. It's only making me want to check out FMA more. JJK is horror light. You're right. It looks incredible. The character designs once again look stunning. I really do dig how everyone looks and how everyone kind of looks like they fit into this world. The feel and sound of it definitely fit what they were going for in this ending. But I think I'm ready now to move on to number 11 and see what we get in this next one. Let's go. Tucked it all away that night. Wow, look at this. The drawing style is so precise. Oh, the desperation in the voice. More strumming. Love it. What are we carrying? Really love this. What was that? That's... Damn, that's crazy. Wow, drawing a line and the world comes into color. And suddenly we're a witch. Or an apprentice witch. This is... Is this the singer that did Domestic Girlfriend? Because I feel like she's one of the best at pushing her voice to that point where you hear like an almost break in her voice, if that makes sense. Maybe not, but like, you know what I mean? Like she pushes her voice to the point where like it almost breaks. You can hear that a couple of times in this ending. This was absolutely breathtaking. A lot of the look of this reminds me a lot of Girl from the Other Side. That's what it's called, right? The manga series. Precise, like fine line drawings, and it kind of gives it this sense of like, with the way that this is drawn, it gives it this feeling of something from like an old book, maybe like a fairy tale, or I don't know, something like that anyway. But it is drawn so spectacularly, and the singer's voice is beautiful. It's stunning, and the single guitar accompanying her voice is incredible. I'm seeing here now, I don't think this is the singer from Domestic Girlfriend, because I'm seeing a name Nakamura-Kun. Just disregard what I was saying earlier. So we're gonna read this. This is the ending for Witch Hat Atelier. Tada Utsukushi no Roi, just a beautiful curse by Nakamura-Kun. She performed 2 more insert songs for the anime. That's so cool. She's a breathtaking voice, and if she has done any other work in anime openings, endings, anything like that, I would hope that we would check that stuff out, because she really does have such a pretty voice, one that really just resonates. The fact that this was an acoustic track, I wonder if that's her thing. Like maybe she only does kind of like acoustic work, and I think that that's really cool, because a lot of artists, they might have one acoustic track and then several other songs that aren't that way, but to have someone do just that would be really cool. And this is her sole thing so far. Well, what a great way to be introduced to someone with the ending for Witch Hat Atelier. Like, you've got an incredibly fitting, beautiful, fantasy sounding opening, and then here we get Nakamura-Kun with such a beautiful track. It's honestly like, comparing the two, like between the opening and ending, it's really actually hard to pick a favorite. I didn't expect that, because the opening for Witch Hat Atelier was just so amazing. Like visually, song, everything was just so perfect. It was like the perfect thing, like meshed all together to make this perfect product. This ending is so different, and it really just stands out even amongst everything else we've seen today, because it really does just encapsulate like this wanting from Coco. She's walking down what seems to be an endless staircase, carrying this glass jar. I don't know, or I can't remember if it's even in the series, if this glass jar means anything, if it represents something. She's carrying it, she's walking this whole way, and then whenever she drops it, it's almost like giving up for her. Like that's when she starts to cry. But the cool thing about this jar is that within this jar, it's almost like we see her hopes and dreams, right? We see like magic, we see like creatures, we see all these things that can represent what it is that she wants from life. And it's whenever she drops it and she starts to cry, like, it's almost like she's lost a purpose almost. I don't know if I'm over analyzing. I do overanalyze pretty often, but then that's when she goes to the book, and when she goes to the book, it's like getting a second chance, because she draws a line. She draws like almost like a line in the sand that separates past life and current new life. And that's when the world comes into color, everything comes into view, and she sees a beautiful world in front of her, and not just like this endless staircase going down. Like even going down, which she wasn't going up the staircase, she was going down, burying her hopes and dreams, shoving everything down there perhaps. And now that she's opened her eyes, she's seeing color, beauty, everything like that, and it's really, really touching just to see this kind of hope in her eyes. And like, it gives you a sense of going forward. But even in saying that, the interesting thing in this is that she doesn't turn around and go up. She continues to go down. Like, she's gonna go down this path, but with a different set of eyes, and she's seeing things differently. She's seeing things with the magic and everything that it is. It's absolutely stunning. Like, I really did love the visuals for this, and also like this kind of like dot work for the coloring and like the line work and everything, once again reminding me of like a volume cover for this series. So that's really cool. The song as well was really pretty. Like, I really did love the singer's voice. She just really captured the essence of uplifting. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it starts off slower and it eventually picks up, and you know, we get to the point where like Coco is ready to go forward. So yeah, what a beautiful ending, what an incredible ending, what a stunning showcase for Witch Hat Atelier, what a stunning showcase for Bug Films. They really did kill it with the opening and ending, and I'm sure they killed it with the series itself. I'd love to hear you guys what you thought of the series down below. And I don't know if I really much more to say about this ending besides it was breathtaking, it was amazing, and it really did have some really incredible artwork in there that just made this whole thing stand out. But yeah, also the mention of the curse being the song and everything, just a beautiful curse. And also mention of the curse in the lyrics. I don't know if there's something deeper going on or if it's like an outlook on life kind of like metaphor. We're gonna check out what we get in this last ending here for today. We're gonna move on and see what we get in this last one. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite that we have checked out today. And yeah, let's see what it is. Here we go. Oh, those are the eyes of Shaola. And it's just not the blood dripping on his face. Everyone's dripping blood. What does it mean? Oh, that's terrifying. Ram and Ram. I think it was Ram that had her eyes closed though. Yo, this journey is drenched in blood. What are we gonna do? These dark feelings. Subaru up top. Subaru, what are you gonna do? Reach? Ooh. Not close enough, not quite. And Shaola, I can only presume it's Shaola throwing all these pages in the air. All this knowledge. Damn. This sounded like Myth and ROID and TK, but I don't know if they got TK on the ending. That was insane. This is the first ending for RIIZE Season 4 Amber by Myth and ROID featuring TK. They got TK on a RIIZE ending. That's insane. Yeah, no, that was sick. That was really cool. The visuals as well, absolutely bonkers. Like the blood being poured and drenched on all these characters, just symbolizing that this journey is drenched in blood. Honestly, when you heard him, you popped off like he showed up number 30 at the Rumble. Hell yeah. I was like, I heard it and like I started like chuckle to myself because I was like, I am not asking is this TK right now. Not in the middle of a RIIZE ending. Yeah, man, that was insane. The visuals as well of like this blood is mental. It's telling you everyone's in danger. Like, this stare from Amelia is honestly the stuff of nightmares. It's like horror. She just looks at you so intensely. I don't know. That's scary. I don't know who's in danger this season when we have Subaru around. It does feel like if someone dies, Subaru could do something about it. But, you know, we're in this era now where we don't want Subaru using his return by death. He stopped using it himself, and like, it's anytime we see it now, it's being put on him. I don't know which twin this is, but considering the red eyes, I would imagine it's Ram that opens her eyes, and Ram has still got her eyes closed. But then again, okay, the other characters do have their eye color. It was just like Julius didn't have his eye color. Like, what's up with that? One really, really bizarre thing about this is the characters have their real eye color apart from Julius. Seeing here his eyes, it looks like he's been Norded. What is happening here to our boy? You know, I am a bit worried that that there's something could happen to him. Not everyone is gonna die this season, right? Like, this is just symbolism for, you know, the sake of, you know, presenting a horror series, because this is horrific. Like, this really does play into the horror side of RIIZE. Like, RIIZE, you know, it's isekai, it's like fantasy, all these other like genres, but like at the end of the day, like, this is pretty horrific, this series. Like, there are a lot of like prominent horror themes within it. This kind of symbolism and iconography of all these characters being drenched in blood, this is maybe like the most ominous thing I've seen yet that's not within an episode. You know, it's like opening ending. Damn, he always had orange eyes. Crazy. I guess he's always been Norded. Yeah, what was that? Why was I thinking he had like light purple eyes? Okay, he's always had orange eyes, so I'm crazy. There's not something off about Julius after all, and I'm crazy. I guess I just thought I noticed something different, but I guess I'm just crazy after all, and I don't know the series like I thought I did. Seeing Ram just sleeping this entire time while they're fighting, it's sad. The big ass tower. Oh shit, we actually see everyone standing in front of the tower, I think. No. Do we? Why does far left look like Echidna? Like, far left looks like Echidna. Am I crazy? I mean, that could just be Amelia. Middle does look like Julius, like the white cloak. Huh. Interesting. I could be overanalyzing here, but it's just seeing like the long silver hair with like black clothing on the far left, like right there, makes me think of Echidna. So I'm like wondering if this is related to something from the past and not actually present. This looks like Subaru's silhouette, but with the mention of a nostalgic scene. I don't know what that could mean. A boundless view when it shows the tower, a nostalgic scene when it shows what looks like Subaru's silhouette. Yeah, season 4's got a lot of mysteries that I'm gonna need to figure out and see for myself, because none of this is making much sense to me. And what are the lyrics here? The one dream I await. And this you would think is Amelia's hand reaching out, but what if it's Satala's? Shaola looking sad, but then looking up and putting on this act, then it looks like does she yeah, it's the way like things go from like dull to like suddenly full of color as soon as she opens her eyes and looks at us. But she did look very sad and lonely, I would guess. I wonder if that's related to like the fact she's been here for so long by herself. She doesn't have company. I guess that she maybe had some connection with Subaru or somehow in the past, because, you know, the fact he's in this world, it's not coincidental. And the fact that she said at the end of episode 2, I found you at last. I don't know if it's related to like who Subaru might have been in the past or something. I don't know. Seeing all the characters here in this kind of shot, it's really cool because it's reminding me of the it's reminding me of a couple of things. It's reminding me of ending 2 for Golden Wind, Modern Crusaders it was called, I think. But it's also reminding me of like Hunting for Your Dream ending. And also seeing Anastasia here, the magic coming from her fingertips. I'm interested to see more of what she will do this season now that like her secret is out. Ram and Ram, gotta see more Ram content soon eventually. Ram, she's gonna hold down the fort. I'm excited to see more of Ram as well. She wasn't present in season 3, so I hope she has a big showing in season 4. Betty, our main girl right now, like our little girl, of course, that what is it, little girl user Subaru, she is going to be the key to a lot of things going forward. And then Amelia, actual main girl, we're gonna need to protect her for all we can. And I'm excited to see where Subaru and Amelia come out of this season. Subaru reaching up and then a hand reaching down for him, but then just missing, cannot grab him. Yeah, I'm wondering whose hand that is, because yeah, once again, you would guess Emilia, but we saw Emilia right next to him, so then you were like, Sadla? But then shortly after this, we do see Shaola. I keep saying Shaola. I have not got to episode 3 yet. I have not had it confirmed that this is Shaola, but you know, who else could it be at this point? Who throws the papers in the air, and it's almost like, you know, throwing away like the past, the present, the future, whatever it is, and ushering in a new era, a new future. I wonder if she had like a gospel of her own. I know it wouldn't be a gospel, but I wonder if she had something of her own that was telling her the future. How does she know the future? How does she know everything like that? I think also like a really interesting thing about what she's wearing here, because in the opening we saw her with, I feel like it was just in like her bikini or whatever, but something really interesting that I'm noticing about her now is that her color scheme is very Subaru tracksuit. The inside of her cloak is like the same color orange as Subaru's tracksuit. The black and everything that she wears, very similar to the color of his tracksuit. So now I'm wondering, like, is there a deeper connection between her and Subaru somehow? Having Subaru wear different clothes in the season where we meet her might be, you know, to kind of make you not think like the clothing looks similar color. I don't know. Maybe it's a red herring. Maybe I'm overanalyzing once again, but you know, it's worth mentioning. It's worth keeping in mind anyway. Also, I wanted to point out like the shot at the beginning where it shows her eye, these 3 dots. For one, it looks kind of like, you know, Splinter Cell, whatever, but the thing it makes me think of, and it's actually ironic that I never pointed it out earlier, is Kingdom Hearts 2 Xigbar. When you fight Xigbar and he like teleports away and he's locking onto you with like his sniper, you see like this, like a similar triangle as he's trying to like lock onto you basically. So I think that that's really cool. I never mentioned that during the opening, and you know, during episode 2 we never actually saw her face, just the bottom of her mouth. So we're going to be checking out episode 3 soon, just for the purpose of a time frame. I have not watched episode 3 of season 4 yet, so this is between 2 and 3 for me. So yeah, I think it's really, really cool seeing all this. And yeah, now like this symbolism is insane. It's very much reminding me of opening to AOT, where Armin's face is just covered in blood and then he just like stares at the camera. It's really reminding me of that. And you know, that cut from that opening from Attack on Titan, like it was terrifying and it had you worrying about Armin, but you know, nothing ever came from that. But I feel like for this is more, you know, kind of about the warning of like things aren't going to be okay for the whole party by the time they finish this. Like it's kind of like this feels like a warning. This feels like a promise or something. I don't know that bad things are going to happen. People are going to die and blood is going to be all over them. Like it's going to be their own blood on them. They got to do everything they can together. Myth and ROID absolutely killed it once again. I love a good Myth and ROID ending for Re:Zero, and I commented on it at the very beginning of this stream. I don't know if it's in the video or not, but I commented on it that one thing about Re:Zero is that the openings are always great, but the endings always stick with you. The endings are maybe, and I guess a big part of that is the fact that they are so iconically like part of the DNA of the series, because they play during the episodes into the ending. So you know, like a lot of the endings for Re:Zero are like almost more iconic than the openings. Take Styx Helix for example. Like to me, that is the Re:Zero song. That's it for Re:Zero. Like Styx Helix, it's the perfect ending, and it's like tied to some of my favorite moments in the series, hearing it bleed into the episodes as the episode ended. And I cannot wait to see this ending in its natural habitat with the episodes themselves. Myth and ROID absolutely killed it. TK out of nowhere, like Pinecino said, number 30 at the Royal Rumble, just coming in, cashing in the money in the bank, you could say, right at the end there, just killing it. Like his voice was so perfect and fitting for a Re:Zero ending. Like it's really, really just insane how perfect he is for a series like this, and his voice really did pair with Myth and Roid incredibly well. It complemented really well, and I cannot wait to hear this again. I cannot wait to see this again. And yeah, I think that might do it for me for today, though. What an incredible way to end this list. What an incredible list. Truly another great season of anime that we are wrapping up. Anime openings and endings, of course. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and let me know what your favorite was down below. Hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when episode reactions go live. More videos like this one, openings, endings, everything like that. Next up is going to be summer, I think, 2026. So we got that to look forward to. You guys can hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when that happens. And as always, of course, you know, thank Pinecino in the comments below. He put a lot of time and work into compiling this list and everything, and all I did was sit here and watch them and, you know, yap about them a while. So be sure to thank Pinecino down below. And yeah, we are going to wrap this one up. So yeah, I hope that you guys are having a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.